Hello everyone, and welcome back to Mabinogi, where we are going to talk to Tarlac as soon as he changes. Should be literally any moment now. That is. There he goes. It's some point after 6, so... Thank you, Serene. Wait, this armor is not complete. It's only a part of an armor. But then again... Head of the Dark Knight armor has regenerative characteristics, where it grows back its own parts. This may actually be enough. Tarlac started observing the armor. I'm sorry, but I don't think this is enough. The piece is way too small. I think I'll need another armor piece to start the regeneration process. I will reward you as promised, but will it be okay if you can help me out some more? Please ask around for more information on the piece of Dark Knight armor and look for other pieces. You must be curious to find out why I am doing this. I need a record that the Dark Knight armor produces. I read a record that the Dark Knight armor produces a certain type of a message. If that record is true, then if I can track down the message that the regenerative armor produces, I may be able to find Rory after all. Please help me, Serene. Alright. Nope, that's not the right thing. Mabinogi Wiki. Mabinogi World Wiki. I just want to get the Dark Knight quest opened up here, so that in case I need it to tell me where to go, I can do so. Mainstream quests. Also under mainstream quests, Dark Knight. Gathering Dark Knight armor pieces. Alright, so complete that quest, and that should unlock the next quest. You'll receive the piece of Dark Knight armor keyword. Talk to Pieris and receive the Dark Knight and the Armor of Blackness book. Who the frick is Pieris? Tyrcanale Innkeeper. Okay, so let's go to Tyrcanale. Then whenever the quest drops, we'll, get the keyword and stuff. So, hopefully it won't take too long. Doggy asleep. Such cute doggy. 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 Sorry, just kind of wasting time for when the quest to get the quest to drop here is all. What time is it? 20? Okay, never mind. Kimono Friends crossover event is in progress. That's what I was talking about when I mentioned Kimono Friends. I don't know if I can encounter them on this character. So, I actually have no idea. Game? How long does this take? Doesn't say. Apparently exactly that long. Alright, Innkeeper. Have to remember where the inn even is. Well, crap, I don't know. Oh wait, yeah, I do know. I never go into the inn, so I don't ever, do anything. I talk to Nora, but I never go into the inn. So I have forgotten that this is the inn down here. Alright, come in here. Oh yeah, I remember talking to this guy. His straight posture gives him a strong, resolute impression, even though he's only slightly taller than the average height. Clean-shaven, well-groomed hair, spotless appearance, and dark green vest make him look like a dandy. Okay? His neat looks, dark and thick eyebrows, and a strong jawline harmonized with a deep baritone voice complete the impression of an affable gentleman. Welcome to my inn. I mean, it did say, hello, nice to meet you. I am Pieris. It did say baritone voice, so. Piece of Dark Knight armor. We're looking for a piece of Dark Knight armor. Ha ha ha! We're full of curiosity. I hear that the piece of the Dark Knight armor is an ominous item to hold on to. The Dark Knight armor is made out of materials that are laden with special magical powers that enhances the power of some more, the power of evil. I hear that it's got a lot of problems. Where did I hear this? Pierre started looking around. I think it's this book, so at least read it on your spare time. Don't worry, I'll give this to you for free. Thank you, PRS. So here's the first piece, the one that we got for Tarlac. Let's see. I was looking for a job some time ago, as many young people of my age do. Oh my god, it's really... I saw 3 parts, figured it was small. When I was introduced to a man who had left his own family to pursue research all alone in his house. According to the man, living and working all alone for some time now has made him start to feel frustrated, somewhat isolated. He wanted to hire me to relieve some of that frustration. This man became my master. His name was Wallace, and the subject of his studies were the Dark Knights. Who were these beings cloaked in their armors of blackness that they are able to exhibit such superior powers? How is it that they are able to antagonize the Paladin himself? And who are they to remain in Erin all this time under such a veil of secrecy? My master spent all of his energy on the study of Dark Knights, and by my master's side I faithfully assisted his investigations. Come to think of it, my master was so absorbed in all the ancient manuscripts, relics, paintings, and people's testimonies, that despite his almost strangely obsessive fixation on the topic, I never felt tired of the work, or felt that I was not being treated right. My master was a very mild-mannered, mild-tempered, and thoughtful man. I was very happy with the work I was doing, and felt fulfilled serving my master. I think he too saw me as a dependable, trustworthy assistant. I was about 3 months into my job when my master disappeared without a trace. At first I simply thought he had heard of some lead to a newly recovered armor, or object that would lead to some part of an armor, thought that he had urgently left to investigate the site of discovery, because that is what he would do, in fact quite frequently. But when days passed, and then months passed without a word from my master, people began to create search parties to look for the whereabouts of my master. But despite all of our efforts, there was no trace of him anywhere to be found. Huh. Sorry, just taking some meds. After about 6 months, everyone began to assume that my master was dead. His family wished to at least recover his body, but at the time that seemed like an impossibility. Family members decided to burn all of my master's belongings, and because of my contract with the master was still in effect, I helped them organize all of his belongings. Throughout this process, I realized that burning the master's research findings would be wasting away the body of his life's work, so I decided to keep the records of his work in a separate place. While looking through his belongings and research documents, I started reading his manuscripts, when I realized that something that literally shocked me to the core, to the point that I nearly lost my breath and felt an electric shock run through my spine. I always thought of the Dark Knights as equally powerful as the ancient Fomors, but the Master had already clearly described all about the Dark Knight's existence and characteristics in this manuscript, not to mention that he had, in fact, described in detail his possible whereabouts. I lost a couple of nights' sleep thinking about what I should do, and decided to compile his manuscripts into a book, after carefully persuading the Master's family. If you are reading this book, I presume that you are someone that is deeply interested in knowing about the Dark Knights. Hiccuping here. I hope that by reading this book you will realize what dangerous beings these Dark Knights really are, and deeply consider the meaning behind their armors. My hope is that you will decide to protect your own precious life, knowing how a life can be completely ruined by your own curiosity. Wallace's manuscript. When I first read that a certain group of Fomors wear pieces of the Dark Knight's armor as amulets, I felt my heart pounding with a surge of excitement. Poundnig? Finally, I thought to myself, I have discovered a way to get a hold of a piece of the Dark Knight's armor in my hands. I've always enjoyed stories about the Dark Knights ever since I was a child. There are a number of known legends about the Dark Knights, But one of the things that had always interested me the most was the fact that the Dark Knights have as much colorful historical tales of heroism as tales passed down about the Knight of Light's legends of heroism. Even if such tales of heroism were amongst Fomors and not of men, it was still an incredibly interesting body of legend which always interested me deeply. Seeing how popular those black armors, described as armors of the Dark Knights, are in Erin, I am probably not all that unique in my interest in the Dark Knights. I think a lot of people in Erin actually call anyone that is dressed in black armor a Dark Knight. Legends of the Dark Knights are a part of children's literature and are seen as fictitious stories meant to illustrate the paladin's omnipotence. However, I believe that these Dark Knights have more to them than the black armor that they wear. They are not beings that were fabricated to illustrate the duality of darkness and light. I believe that Dark Knights were real beings. Furthermore, the Dark Knight's armor, which was found amongst the relics as of recent, do support my trajectories. Dark Knight's armor is often described as a spirit armor. According to the ancient legend, I believe that makes the Dark Knight's armor on an equivalent level of importance to that of a paladin's armor. Many people think of Dark Knights as fictitious characters which were created out of people's boredom. But when actual pieces of the Dark Knight's armor were discovered and studied as magic, the results were quite interesting. This is because all of the hidden secrets behind the Dark Knight's magic powers had everything to do with the armor itself. According to my findings, the Dark Knight's armor is cast by a spell to fully protect the wearer from any and all external shocks or attacks. And it is this spell that makes the material as well as the color of the armor look and feel the way it does. The spell that shrouds the armor has the effect of separating the wearer from the external environment, so to speak. The power of the armor is continually fed into the armor, somehow independent of the wearer's awareness. This is the reason that Dark Knight armor is described as an armor of blackness in ancient manuscripts. That is because the magical power that shrouds the Black Knight's armor takes the wearer to a mysterious abyss of blackness. If this armor had been found in its full form, we wouldn't have to be studying the armor's small pieces to find out more about its properties. In fact, all we have to do is put on the armor to find out about the powers of the armor. We haven't had such luck as of yet. And those who study the Dark Knight's armor, including myself, are, in the meantime, doing everything to try and locate a fully preserved Dark Knight armor. One thing that has been comforting is that we have been excavating many little pieces of the Dark Knight's armor, one at a time. Some of the pieces have been destroyed to such an extent that there remains no trace of any magic on the physical material of the armor. In such cases, we've had to analyze the material itself to see if the piece that we excavated is in fact a remnant of the armor or not, basing our speculations solely on its shape, but sometimes we find small traces of magic remaining on the piece of armor that was found, which is in turn both a great reward as well as an excruciating process, as we try to imagine and speculate the properties of the original magical spell, as well as how such a spell would have been shrouded upon this piece of armor. So long. If there was a way for us to know how the Dark Knight's armor is made, we probably wouldn't have to be struggling and speculating to the extent that we do. But I was lucky to have found my research partner and friend Punbar. He had been investigating the secrets surrounding the armor of blackness for almost a decade, and was a man of great intelligence and passion. Punbar wanted to compare and bring together our findings. Because of my deep curiosity finding the original shape of the Dark Knight's armor, I agreed to his request. When we brought all of our pieces together, we found that our pieces didn't really go together perfectly. That just means that the various pieces of the armor that we had each gathered were coming from a number of different armors. For what it was worth, we were finally able to physically see the general shape of the Dark Knight's armor right before our eyes. Punbar and I were ecstatic, and such a joyful moment led to me entrust my armor pieces to Punbar, since he was the one to think of bringing our pieces together in the first place. I just took a specimen to experiment with on my own. We both felt satisfied with this arrangement, and I made regular visits to Punbar, twice a week in fact, to examine the armor. Punbar took impressive care of the sample armor. In fact, it seemed to have improved in its condition over time. Parts of the armor that had been corroded seemed to lose its dullness. The parts that didn't exactly connect to each other properly seemed to find its own proper place on the body of the armor. It was looking better and better, to the extent that it started to appear as if all the pieces had originally come from a single body of armor. Some months later, I heard through some other researchers The Dark Knight's armor was missing. At the time working on testing the correlation between the suddenly rising power of the spell over the armor and the changes of season when I heard the news. I have been hearing from other researchers that there have been robberies of armors that have been pieced together by other researchers, but didn't really worry as I knew that Punbar was meticulous in his care of our armor. We continued on with our research, interpreting the newly found ancient war manuscripts which talked about Dark Knights, and I was looking forward to doing the translations myself as I had always been interested in ancient languages. Translating documents was not an easy task, but was not completely outside the range of my expectations. The content of the manuscript, however, did exceed my expectations, because it proved an explanation for why the Dark Knight's armor were always found broken into pieces. That, according to the manuscript, was because the only way to undo the spell of the armor is to destroy the armor itself. What does it mean to take away one's power by destroying the armor, not the person wearing the armor? I don't see why they would go to all the trouble of destroying the armor, especially when considering the future generations who might want to wear the armor. So why is it that there are no armors that have been left in their original shape without being destroyed? With the various reports of robberies amongst our fellow researchers came other disturbing news. One of them was that the robber had murdered the researcher of the armor. There were rumors that the robber was conducting the perfect crime, leaving absolutely no trace of the researcher's body to be anywhere. I began to worry about Punbar, and Punbar would comfort me by saying he was surrounded by paladin trainees who were protecting him. Whenever my anxieties would seem to settle, there would be news of another robbery, with the same story about the perfect crime committed by this hyper-intelligent robber who left no traces behind. There's something ominous about all this. I started to wonder if maybe the Fomors did not want humans to keep investigating into the secrets of the Dark World. If I were to continue on with this research, something bad happened to me too. These thoughts of anxiety, though only affected me at night. I was able to live my life without any major disruptions, as I was able to convince myself there was nothing to worry about. It was around then that I noticed that Punbar had become visibly weak and was turning increasingly sensitive. His complexion was looking dim. I was certain that he was affected by his anxieties just as I was. The armor, on the other hand, was looking rather shiny and in good condition. Kept in such good condition, I started to worry that our armor would be subject to the robber's interest eventually. After a week later, the thing I worried the most about actually came true. At that time, I was preoccupied with interpreting a poem about the armor of dark blackness. The poem talked about how the armor of blackness increases the wearer's desire to produce such power and materializes human desires in the form of strength. While it does so, it completely absorbs the wearer's own feelings and will. I began to wonder if the armor could have such effects on the people who possess the armor, and started to consider whether Punbar's strange behaviors as of late had something to do with the armor that we had put together for the purpose of finding its original shape. So that is why when I went to see Punbar, I had listened to Punbar's explanation in the first place. It was that very same night that Punbar disappeared along with the armor. I found all of the paladin trainees in front of Punbar's house severely injured. I wondered if Punbar had been kidnapped along with the armor by some mysterious power. I also wondered if the armor had affected Punbar himself in some way. Perhaps the magic powers of the pieces of armor had spellbound him to piece the armor together, only to then eventually put it on himself. Of course, this theory doesn't necessarily explain the disappearance of the other researchers, but perhaps that is the curse of the Dark Knights. I cannot say for certain that is what I feel. If there is no other way to confirm this hypothesis, I will go to the Fomors in the dungeon to supposedly wear these armor as their amulets to find out. After Punbar disappeared, I've been thinking about taking my ancient Pinton and starting over with the piece of armor we have found together. Finally! This is the end of my Master of Wallace's records. My master disappeared with the armor that he had pieced together, and we have yet to find any trace of him or the armor. I do not want to think that my master had fabricated such a situation just to prove his conviction about this topic. So if that is the case, I am left to draw just one possible conclusion. There are a number of mysterious secrets that surround these armors of blackness, one of the secrets being that the armors are capable of casting a curse upon us. If any of you readers are to come across a demon and or an object that appears to be a piece of armor, I'd recommend that he or she consider the content of this book. And if you by chance see my master anywhere, sincerely hope that you will let him know. Oh dear, Luna. So much. Alright, Curse of the Armor of Darkness keyword. So let's go. Oh good. I have to go to LB. Not just LB, but LB Battle Arena. Do I have any Battle Arena coins? That's the real question here. Probably. Let's see. If not, I don't remember how to get them, honestly. Oh yeah, right here. LB Battle Arena. Immediate transfer is fine. I just need one. Whoop. Literally just need one. Thank you. Jeez. Alright. Off to LB Dungeon, which is this way. And we can drop the Battle Arena coin and get the get into the Battle Arena, and then from there we can talk to Goro. Sorry, just having some issues here. And drop it. LB Battle Arena. That's how we leave. So this is a PvP arena for like other players. So it's pretty cool. With his rough skin, menacing face, and his constant hard breathing, he has the sure look of a goblin. Yet there is something different about this one. Surely it appears to have a sense of noble demeanor that does not match its rugged looks. How can I help you? Welcome, beautiful lady. My name is Goro. Do not be surprised. I have no intention of hurting you. Goro's waiting for me to say something. If you wish to speak to me, please ask, and I will do my best to answer your questions. So we need to go into here, and the Curse of the Dark Knight Armor. This Armor of Darkness has that kind of power? Really? It's that notorious of an item. Ever did I think it was a dangerous item? I got this from someone that works at the Dragon Excavation site. And all that time I thought it was a lucky charm. Did hear some things, and maybe that's from that. Serene, you can hold on to this piece of armor for me. Then you can hold on to this piece of armor for me. I'll give it to you for telling me the origin of this item. At least I feel safe that it's ending up in your hands. You can trust someone who displays a high level of concentration and restraint like you. If you need other pieces, then how about you talk to that worker at the Dragon Excavation site? If it is indeed like what Serene said, then I'm afraid he may be in danger as well. Alright. So now we have two pieces. We have this piece. There's no way you can tell exactly which area it's protecting. Anyone taking a glance at can feel its power emanating. So, like, it looked like it was the boots. I think that is what it's supposed to be. So, oh, hey, I think I actually need a teardrop of the spirit for this. At least that's what this says. We'll see if they changed it again. Because remember how they had changed that last time? So, now we need to go to a random message from Dark Knight Armor in your possession. Okay. We'll receive the acquire the third piece of the armor quest. This quest is given as a sub-quest. Gathering Dark Knight Armor. Acquire a second piece of Dark Knight Armor, acquire a third piece of Dark Knight Armor. Okay, so I don't have the acquire the third piece of armor quest yet. This quest is given as a sub-quest. Right. Got it. So we have to go to Rabby Dungeon, but I think I have to pick up this quest first. Just like that. Acquire the third piece of the armor. Request Seamus for piece of Dark Knight armor. Do I actually have to talk to Seamus? Let's see. Because this says it's just supposed to be any NPC. It's like talking to other people. Let's see. Oh yeah, I don't even have a keyword anymore. Alright, well maybe it does require us talking to Seamus specifically. Because... don't just talk to other people, listen to me! I think that's the game's way of telling you to go see Seamus. Let's talk to Lorna. And she's here. After that, oh, she doesn't count. Of course not. She doesn't count. So it might have to actually be Seamus, which is fine. That might be something they've changed, but not something the wiki has noted. You know who I am, right? Hahaha. Let me just talk and then end. Let's see. Boop. Time to fly. Take off into the sky. So let's just go talk to Seamus directly then. Because the quest does say, even though the wiki doesn't, the quest does say. So, Dragon Ruins Moon Gate. Also, we probably should go talk to our squares at some point here. Do 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 do. I love the music in this game. The music in this game is so good, honestly. Talking to Seamus. A piece of Dark Knight armor. This? You are trying to say that this piece is actually very dangerous. I'm aware that there's a curse on this armor of darkness, but what I found here is a piece that's already lost its power of evil. That shouldn't be a problem. You don't believe me? If you want to see the piece I have with me, this piece of armor is pretty much fossilized. Nothing more than a piece of rock. I told Seamus that I've been collecting pieces of the armor of darkness. That means you want to restore the piece of armor that I'm giving you. To restore this, it requires a special kind of magic. I advise you to visit the magic instructor around Dunbarton, okay? I think that person will know what to do with that piece of armor. Alright, request Stewart for armor piece repair. That's interesting, because this is... oh, wait. Right, okay, never mind, I see it. Yeah, because it's a separate quest, is what it is. I get it. Sometimes I hate how this game does just any of the things it does. Like, because the acquire the third piece of armor is a separate quest. So the wiki has it labeled as a separate quest. But the Gathering Dark Knight armor here is its own quest, so... so now we just gotta go talk to Lassar, or Stewart, and then talk to Lassar to receive the... so we receive the Potion of Restoration. We also need 3 mana herbs. So I'm gonna want to... since I'm already headed to Dunbarton, I'm gonna want to hit up the bank. As that person is practicing their singing again. At least they're doing it out here. Wait. It's not where I'm supposed to be. There you go. Where are you going? I don't know what that was. That was weird. Alright. Where do I have my herbs? 5 mana herbs. Go ahead and just take 2. There, now I have 3. So talk to Stuart to receive the potion of restoration. I mean, flight's really fast, so it does not take long to fly and then land. Come on, let me into the door, please. Alright, sometimes you have to click to move around, as opposed to just using WASD. How can I help you? What? You want to restore the piece of armor of darkness that's already been fossilized? Personally, I do not recommend you following that route. The power of evil that is latent in that piece is powerful enough to seduce even the most powerful person in this world. I believe the best thing to do is, right now, is leave the piece as it is, and the reason my eyesight is turned like this is because of my insatiable desire to see the order behind the dichotomy this world presents to each and every one of us. I understand more than most people how darkness how dangerous it is to be handling this piece of art. To be handling this piece of armor of darkness. I'm afraid I cannot follow through on your request. Please forgive me. It's really hard for me to say no to your request, Serene, but I don't want to go through this to relive that nightmare. But I have a feeling that the magic constructor in Tir Canale, to save me from the firm grasp of darkness, may be able to fulfill your request. I give you this potion. Hand this potion to the magic constructor of Tir Canale and explain to her your story, and you'll be able to get what you want out of it. Serene, the armor of darkness may very well be much more dangerous than anything you and I can even imagine. Please be careful. Alright. Whee! Here we go again. Off we go flying. That wolf was targeting somebody. I'm not sure who, but it was targeting somebody, so I just figured I'd, take it out, save them from any possible damage, since they probably AFK. Otherwise they would have, done something about it themselves, probably. Hello, Lassar. Are you Serene by any chance? Haha, exactly the way Bebin described. Sorry, I apologize for laughing. Nice to meet you, I'm Lassar. So the magic instructor of Dumbarton sent you here. Told Lassar about Stuart's story and the pieces of armor of darkness. I can see that. Anyone that experienced that would never want to see his or her hand on it ever again. Well, if it isn't any trouble for me to help you, but I think you'll have to be careful with this too, Serene. Keep spending time gathering up these pieces of armor, or if you're holding on to it for a prolonged period of time, then that powerful force that's latent in that armor may affect you in different ways. If you want me to do this, I'll need you to need more than just this potion. I may need some mana herbs for this. If you can give me 3 of them, I'll restore the piece of armor to its original state. Nice! So here's the fossil. Oh, you were able to get the herb that I asked you to get. Okay, this should be a breeze now that the herb is here. Here, take it. It looks like a headgear. Serene, while you're away searching for the herb, I looked up some information on this piece of the armor, and Serene, this might be much more dangerous than you think. If If you feel or hear a message exuding from the piece, or if you feel this armor keeps sticking to your body, then I strongly suggest you do not lay your hand on this armor. And please don't hold on to it for too long. Just find out some things that you need to find out, and then just destroy it completely. Bye, Lasar. Rabbi Dungeon, that's where my brother lives. There it is. Okay, thank you. Alright. Wow, these are gigantic things. Acquire 4th piece of Dark Knight armor. And that is in Rabbi. So, with that said, I guess it's off to Rabbi Dungeon. But we will do Rabbi Dungeon in the next episode. So I do hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, feel free to subscribe. Check the video description down below for a link to the playlist. That way you can get caught up on any episodes you might have missed. And with that, I'll see you guys next time. See you later.